Welcome back to Get With The Programming. I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grundler.
Wolverine.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, you guys. Happy New Year to you, dude.
Happy New Year to you. And Merry
Where's
Christmas and Happy Holidays. And
totally, all that stuff. Where's the shower curtain? What the heck?
oh, hey, I am in another room of the house. We are officially moved in. My wife has given me a tiny corner in our home, which she will soon take over. But as of right now, I am in my soon-to-be office, where hopefully the background doesn't really change much as the years go on. So yes. Oh man, how was your Christmas?
Oh, dude, it was so good. We had it was crazy. The weather was insanely warm on Christmas. Me and my youngest daughter Jolie, we went swimming the day after Christmas. Swimming, the pool was all great, jacuzzi, the whole deal. And then the very next day it rained, and it's been raining and freezing ever since then.
Oh no, right?
Yeah. Like New Year's, me and Laura went to we have this hot spring mineral like outdoor jacuzzis and all that kind of stuff, and we're there in the tub. Hardcore rain, wind.
Oh.
It was really cool.
You're in a hot tub. That kind of sounds nice.
No, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Okay,
we were a little worried that like some big tree branches might come down, but it was super cool. Super cool way to ring in the new year. What about you?
Like a hot tub to ruin your
I know. It was like a hot tub time machine, dude. I'm telling you.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Eric, Stefan, Bruce, Kenneth, Mr. Spin, Eric. God, what's up, everybody?
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. First show of the year, which is wild. We had some time off. We've had some time off, and we've been doing some thinking.
Yeah.
Before we get to that, because today we're going to unveil, I don't want to say unveil, rekindle, bring back to light,
remaster,
reinvent,
rebrand,
like Phoenix from the ashes, the trophy case.
Yeah.
From the old .com days. .com days. But
yeah.
You know what? I want to share this because it's been a while for me. But
you're
I've
gonna
been
start
squatting.
crying, aren't you? Oh.
No, not at all. It's nothing sentimental at all. I started squatting again. And for the longest time, like years, I've had a weird back pain that I can't squat heavy with. And I've taken probably a good 2-3 years off of heavy lifting. And I started squatting again with no pain. And I got to tell you, I get why people love squatting so much, because now that it doesn't hurt, I feel so good after just a good squat sesh. Like I dropped my percentages really low, because usually I was the guy that would never finish a squat cycle because I would get hurt halfway through, because I was like, well, I know I heavy singled 345, but I want to base it all off 405. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, so I backed it way off. And I got to tell you, it's really, really enjoyable. I get it. And I have no back pain. So that's the best part for me, is like, I'm just squatting. It's not super heavy, but it's heavy. It feels heavy for me. And I feel accomplished physically, like that weird leg fatigue deal. It's awesome.
I have to ask,
that's right, Hottie.
Are you looking at the weights when you're doing this? Because I know a lot of times people will they'll bring the weight way down. I mean, they're doing all the right things. They bring the weight way down. You know, they've taken time off. They've rehabbed whatever they need to rehab. And then they look at the weights and it's like way below what they want to do. And because that isn't remotely close to where they were, like they're not able to enjoy how you're enjoying it. Like it's cool that you're doing that, but like what parameters are you putting on your brain to be able to have that? You just like, I just don't care what I do not care.
I honestly put my baseline 1 rep max at 15. That's it. And I'm going from there. And it's been nice.
Okay.
It's I don't even give a shit what the weights are on the bar. I am breaking below parallel. Is like I'm quality movement.
Did I freeze on that?
Yeah, I think your internet. Which are you right one. Like quality range of motion, we're doing like sets of 10. So like it's high volume. And I've just been really enjoying it. So no, like ego is out the door.
Hey, you tell them. Let me switch this up real fast. You tell them real fast. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Oh, let's see. Yes, live chat, everybody. We're putting it in there. Stefan. Lose that. How do you spell privilege? I know I'm not good with spelling. Privilege, whatever. Anyways, all right. So before Bill gets his internet back up and running, yes, we have a live chat. We want to see you guys on the screen at all times because we want to interact with you guys. And sometimes we don't see everybody come on, and we'll do that as Bill comes in. But hey, welcome back.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. That was
good. To repeat myself, ego out the door. My baseline heavy single is a 315. I've squatted much more than that in the past, but it's great. Like, and I think because I've picked such a low 1 rep for myself, that it takes all the pressure and all that off the table.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. That's really hard for a lot of people to do. It's just to, and that was the first thing you said, leave the ego at the door. It's like understanding that, like, okay, it doesn't matter, especially if you're building back. It doesn't matter what the weight is. It's movement. Dude, I was so pissed. Sidestep to the, but it's basically the same thing. I had a video that I had on TikTok for the gym, and it was like, I don't know, it was just an open shot of the gym. It was like the calm before the storm. If you want to come join, come join. And I had little emojis and the people going like that. And someone responded with, thanks, but I'd rather use correct movement and do some endurance work, but thanks. And I was
why are you like on your, like, why are you even following me?
Exactly. So I go, wow, that's exactly what we do here. You know? And then he writes back, he's like, well, most boxes don't. And I'm like, what? I go, you know, we've been doing this CrossFit thing a long time. The mantra is learn it, master it, then put intensity to it. So, I mean, that's exactly what you're talking about, is go back to learning and mastering the movement so that you can move and then add weight, add speed, add all that. It's just so funny. And it's crazy that still to this day, people think that CrossFit equals bad movement. Yeah. When the whole idea in the definition is right movement. It's so weird to me.
It's just ignorance, but that's our job. That's our job. And that has actually a great segue, because I wanted to talk about two things that are going on right now. One is, I'll lead right into that. No, I'll start with this. Have you been following Tosh and the team?
Yes.
Have any of you guys been following this? Basically, they're in a 4-man rowboat, and they're racing across the Atlantic Ocean. And Brian Chonchos is he's a friend of mine, and Chris, who's on the boat, he's also a friend of mine. We worked on the seminar staff together. They're super OGs, and I'm talking about, like, there's Jason Bourne, and then there's like Chris,
right,
and then there's like the King of Sparta, and there's Tosh. Like, those people are actually real people, and that is Chris, and that is Tosh. I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic here of like, oh, they're the most badass people. Like, these guys are the real fucking deal. And I can't even begin to explain. Like, Google Brian Chontosh.
Yeah, just go to their Wikipedia.
Chontosh. And don't believe the story, like what this guy did. And that's like the tip of the iceberg of how fucking amazing this dude is, as well as just like a good person, right? Same with Chris. And so there's 4 dudes on this boat, 3 SEALs, 1 Marine, that being Tosh. And they're racing across the Atlantic Ocean. Yes, the Atlantic Ocean. Yes, it's like 35 to 40 day boat race against these other people. And they're doing this as, one, that's just who they are as people. But 2 is Brian has a part of a foundation called
Big Fish.
The Big Fish Foundation. And you can raise money to it, but like, this is what the boats look like. Right. And this is actually, I think this is one that capsized. This is one of the American teams. But check out this photo. Right. Like this is, let me try to blow this up. I'm going to take the chat off here for a second. This is their boat. This is the world around them. And they're halfway through the Atlantic, rowing through the middle of the night. They've had crazy mechanical failures, like their automatic tiller broke, which is the thing that kind of keeps the boat still. Like instead of rocking side to side. Last night they had this post night where their batteries on the boat died.
Yeah.
Right. They just put this up last night. And what these things do, it's like for their water pumps, like fresh water pumps and keeping water out of the boat. Like one of them's completely dead. The other one is critical. And it helps with like some of their steering. And that's like totally gone to shit. Right. And you're right, Stefan. It is nonstop rowing for 35 to 40 days. Nonstop. They work in teams of 2, usually through the night. They're in 2-hour offsetting shifts, and they can only sleep in like each end of the boat. There's like enough room where 2 people could basically big spoon in there, and like all their food's on the boat, their water's on the boat. They're on their own. They have to navigate this by themselves. I mean, there's been storms that they've had to go through. We've already said a couple boats have capsizes. Fortunately, everybody's okay. But that being said, is that all of this, not only is just a challenge for these guys, but it is to raise money for the Big Fish Foundation, right? If you guys know about this is a huge thing that Tosh is a big, big part of. I'll throw this in the chat. If you guys have the means and the availability, being a new year, is like, please just like throw a couple in there for those dudes, like what they're doing. I mean, so much they do for veterans. Tosh holds this camp, like a Big Fish camp. I think it seems like he does it like once
every year. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And they just do a lot. They do a lot for the armed services, the veterans, and this challenge that they're going on is just absolutely epic. So follow Team Shut Up and Row. This is basically their Instagram page. So I will, let's see, I'll pull this up. So if you guys are watching now, you can go to Instagram, and it's just, their handle is Team Shut Up and Row, which is the perfect name for this group. Like, I'll give one story about Tosh, and I've mentioned this before, but we've done trainer summits, and a trainer summit is like, if anybody's taken their level 1 or their level 2, it's almost that with the level 1 staff and the red shirts, and we do the breakouts, and we basically repurpose the lectures and the movement breakouts, and we coach each other. And Tosh was coaching this group, and I thought it was moving well. And sometimes we're told to move poorly, so we make sure that they can catch us doing something. And Tosh is like, he's in the center of the group. He's like, you back on your heels, lift your chest up, make sure you contact with me. And then he turns around the circle and he's like, all right, hey, chest up, arms straight. And it's like, chase. And I was like, he goes, unfuck yourself immediately. And I didn't know him that well at the time. I mean, I still don't know him great, but like, every time we've got to work a seminar together, he's just the kindest, nicest human being. And I'm so proud of these dudes. So please, if you guys can, go follow them on Instagram. You can follow the Big Fish Foundation. You can follow Tosh and all those guys. Just, if anything, just like put them in your prayers, because they're having to like navigate manually now, because basically all their electronics have gone to shit. And so like they're in a tough spot, but you've got 4 dudes on that boat that can handle it, but they have been asked to do a lot of things that are outside their control. So yeah, One Zombie, you know what? That's actually be a good,
that would be a great one.
That might be something we put on what we're about to talk to next.
Oh yeah. Huh.
Right? That's not a bad idea.
I like that.
That's not a bad idea. And then in that same vein, before we move on, I would just wanted to throw out that this new campaign that started through CrossFit, which you talked about, you know, like what CrossFit's about, what it really is. And if you guys haven't been following this, but it's this new marketing campaign for CrossFit. It's called The Magic of CrossFit. And the reason why I put this side and side with Tosh, because, well, Tosh's significant other happens to be Nicole Carroll. And this is the video.
The power in CrossFit isn't just some strange alchemy. In truth, it's a formula that works. It's the formula for everything we do, from forging elite fitness to preventing and reversing disease. It's the inputs that give us the outcomes, the results that have revolutionized an industry and changed millions of lives across the world for the better. This formula is the CrossFit methodology plus our ethos. This is the authentic, no bullshit heart of what we believe in and stand upon. This is all brought to life by our coaches and lived and reinforced by our community. This defines who we are and what we do, and ultimately leads to the results, culture, and community that everyone recognizes as CrossFit.
So I would say if that struck a chord with you, go to CrossFit on Instagram and share that. Share it on your story, share it on your page, share what CrossFit really is about, right? The heart and soul of CrossFit, the magic in the movement, right? We know there's the science when it comes to the programming, things like that. But if that struck a chord with you, go share that. And then there's another part that's just above this that they have pinned at the top, and it's Nicole Carroll herself, right? So if you guys are a part of this community and you guys want to basically help push everything that Bill and I talk constantly, and you hear from other sources, is like, it's about the community, it's about the affiliates, it's about the grassroots, it's about that OG starting point. Like, this is it. And if you guys really are about it, like, you need to not just sit there and hit the heart button or the like button. You need to hit the share button. You need to hit the repost button, because everybody's already following this page that wants to know about CrossFit. That's not going to get it done. You're going to get it done, because you have people following you that don't do CrossFit. And there's people that are following them that don't do CrossFit. And the way we get the message out there is that if we all pitch in our efforts to help promote the message. So, soapbox. First soapbox of the year, Bill.
Yeah, but that was a good soapbox, man, because that's what it is. Like, we have to take this back. You know, we always talk about, you know, the cult. This is our cult. And it is, I mean, you don't have to talk about the science, but it works because of the simplicity of what it works. It doesn't get watered down in all these silly variables that it makes it sound all, you know, hardcore and difficult and too, you know, exclusive, not inclusive enough, and all of these things. It's just like, no, just come in, because it's a bunch of people that want to better their life and get better and be better. That's what it is. And one of my favorite things that they had in the video was the fact that Nicole said bullshit in the video.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it doesn't have to be so pretty all the time. It's not about how shiny or how clean or how, you know, specific and nice and box. It doesn't have to be that. It just has to be something that works. And if it works, it does just come in. So I think that was the first. I mean, I love the video. I actually know some of the people in the video, which is really cool.
Oh, do you really? Well, I know Tyson Oldroyd put that together. Mariah Moore was a big part of that too. Like,
well, Mariah, her first CrossFit gym was CrossFit Ohana, which is my daughter's aunt and uncle's place. So they opened that place.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the first person you see walking back, his name's Darren, with that green little Shaka sweatshirt. Great, I mean, good people, great place. So it was really cool to see that connection. But you know, the CrossFit thing, when we talk about the cult, it's the cool things that we have as a group done together. Not that we all have to be in the same place, but that when I say Fran, you know what I'm talking about, and someone else knows what I'm talking about. If you're wearing Nanos or you're wearing Nobles, you know that person does CrossFit. You know that they're around what we do. And it doesn't matter whether you're a games level athlete or someone that is just starting. Like, we all know what thrusters feel like. We all know what burpees feel like. And that's that piece that binds us, that community part. And within that, you dip yourself in that, and then all of the health benefits come with that. And it's not just you get quote unquote healthier, you get better abs, or you look better. You go back to what Glassman was saying. It is the answer to to public's most vexing health problem. It is not a help, it's the answer to. And of all the things that are out there, of all the different programs that are out there, I've been an athlete and whatever forever. You have too. We've seen all of the different trends that are out there. This is the thing that works the best. 100%.
Yep, it does.
So
and the other part of that, the flip side of that coin is that, we've said this on the podcast so many times. CrossFit is for anyone, but it's not necessarily for everyone, because we all have our own cup of tea in a sense, but it doesn't mean it can work or can't work for everyone. That Bruce just put up there, infinitely scalable. And infinitely scalable, overwhelmingly accepting, and fully supported. That's the community that we have. And that's the piece that we are trying to get out to the public, where CrossFit may have lost its way along the years. And it's no fault of their own. Like, look, it's just been a wild couple of years and maybe tried new things and it didn't go well. But there is a huge push to recenter how this all began, why this is so important. And yeah, at the same time, it's like, it is a no bullshit attitude, because there is no bullshit in just being disciplined and doing the work. But at the same time, those that are intimidated by that attitude, we're not saying, fuck you, join the gym. It's just like, hey, listen, I can sugarcoat this all you want. I will be as empathetic and supportive as possible, but this is the answer. Right?
So just shut up and row.
Right. So just shut up and row. Full circle. Full circle. I did see one thing posted by Make WODs Great Again, and he talked about just getting people into the CrossFit gym. It's like, hey, come with me. Like, that's your only answer all year. Like, don't fight anybody. Don't shame anybody. Do nothing. Right? Just like, hey, if you're curious, just come with me. I'll come with you. I'll take care of you. I'm coaching this class. I'll get someone else to coach this class so that you can come with me.
Yeah, totally.
Like, everybody just put out a hand to somebody and let's go. Right? That's what we want to do. Start the year off right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That being said, this is the thing I love about some of these ideas that come out. Most of the ideas that we've had on this show have been a product of organic conversations. The CrossFit Journal Book Club, for example, was an organic conversation that happened in the chat that I'll throw up here as everybody's popping in during one of our episodes. Shout out Wad Zombie.
Yeah.
Right. And there was a light bulb, an inspiration. And then you brought this up in an off chat. It's actually a text stream of, hey, remember when? And I immediately was like, I text the group. I was like, we should do this. And then you text me on the side. I was like, we should do this. So like, I should have texted you that.
I know. I know. Well, I was like, that text thread that we're in, it just has too many people in it. And not that it wouldn't be a good place to have that, but this is what we do. We are the OG bringer backers. And so I was like, oh shit, I actually should have re-gone to you, but man, dude, this was something.
So lay it out there. Lay it out. What like sparked that memory for you?
Well, I think we were talking about the walking 100 feet on your hands. Remember, we were going through the book club, and it was the challenges. Yeah. It was the challenges, and there are a couple of those things. And I was like, man, I remember there was a list on the old CrossFit.com website, which is hysterical because that old .com website, if you have been around for any length of time, was so low tech and so I don't know, inappropriate is not the right word. It was like hard to see, hard to read. But the main gist of it,
so small.
it was so, I know, it was terrible. But the main gist of it was,
website.
right, there would be the workout of the day, like there normally
Mm-hmm.
is, and then the comments, and that would be the leaderboard, and that's how everyone saw everybody. But to the side of the normal everyday workout stuff, there was a tab that was called the trophy case or the trophy awards. And I remember clicking that one time. This is a long time ago. I remember clicking it, and there was a list, and I can't remember exactly because I cannot find the whole list. So if there are any old timers, and I don't know, I think that I probably out-year anybody on here, but if there's any old timers that remember this page, I think there were like 10, maybe 12 or 15 items that they're just a task. It's like, here's a test. How about this? Here's one. And the only reason I remember this particular one is because it was one that I could do, and I remember doing it. And I didn't have my CrossFit gym yet. You know, I wasn't an L1 trainer yet or anything
I
like
didn't know
that.
this early.
Dude, this was like, we're talking like this, like 2004.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like when I went
like 08 maybe.
No, dude, like when I was searching for the list,
okay,
there in the old discussion boards, I saw posts of like 2003.
I feel like that because there is actually like the old games web page somewhere.
I
don't know if it's all of that. I know that, but what I'm saying is that you can still find like the original games website. Like that's buried somewhere. I wonder
if you have the right address.
You have the right address, right? And I wonder if the old .com is somewhere.
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Because you either delete it or you just turn it off.
Yeah, I put out some feelers, so I'm like, maybe Sean knows, or I'm going to try and like poke around at it. But there was one that was, if you can do bench press, body weight bench press, which I know you hate all the body weight stuff, but that's how it was back in the day.
That's how it was back in the day. I get it.
Body weight bench press 30 times unbroken.
Which is heavy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So when I did that, I was like, I was just coming out of lifting normally. So I was doing back and bis and chest and tries and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh, I could do that. And mine was 100. I think I was 190 pounds then. 190, maybe I don't think I was 195, maybe 190, 195. And I did it. I did it 30 times. And so I'm like, oh, cool, CrossFit. And the whole thing and this is how you said you could do everything, was your name, your weight and height, your how old you are, and then what your score was. That's what you put on the comment board. And this is how you did the same thing. So you say that you did it, you say how heavy you did it and who you are and all that kind of stuff. And then they would send you a shirt. And the shirt was the old school Pukie drawn clown of like Pukie on its hands and knees, vomiting out to the floor with like CrossFit across the back. That was one. And it was like that old stiff, I don't know if it's like Gildan's or whatever the shirt was, like heavy duty, like eggshell, whatever, yeah.
Cotton shirt, one size fits all.
But that would have been my first CrossFit shirt, and I wanted that thing so bad. And I just remember, like, I emailed them, and that's all I did. You emailed in that you got it, and then if you got it, and you had the certain numbers, and they would send you a shirt. And I always remember, like, there were ones on there that there was no way I could do. I think there was 30 muscle ups for time. There was 20K row. And what was the ones that I sent you the other day? 20K row in 20 minutes, I think.
No, a 5K row.
A 5K row, yeah.
20K row in 20 minutes would be quite a sight to see. So other ones in there that we looked up was
vertical leap, half your body height.
Yeah, half your body height in inches. My main one that I always chased was 15 rep overhead squat at body weight.
Yeah.
Right. That was the big one for me. Like I always wanted to do that. And I got strong enough one time, and then I had to lose like 5 pounds to make sure I got it. Like that's how I ended up getting that one. But so what they had was, like you said, all of these challenges, and they called it the trophy case.
The trophy case.
Oh, like we're talking old school. And when you look at some of the challenges now, like you see body weight stuff, and now we realize that body weight percentage things are not the best judge of fitness as far as like a test is concerned. But very unique things. Like another one we saw was called the pull-up challenge. And at the time it was who can do 40 unbroken pull-ups.
Yeah.
And you read this article, it's actually a CrossFit Journal article called the pull-up challenge. And it went through a lot of these people's stories, and it actually showed the evolution of the kipping pull-up as aiding in this competition. Like, I found that I could do that many strict pull-ups and I don't think I would ever get there. And then I learned how to kip. And then I got closer and closer and closer, and how they train for it. And they all got these shirts. It wasn't the same shirt because it was exclusive to that challenge, but these were thrown out there. There's no leaderboard. There's no record holders. It's just a, hey,
can you do it?
Can you do this? And they just
here's a test.
threw it out to the community.
Yeah.
And so what we want to do this year is we want to bring it back.
I want to rebrand this. Now, what's crazy is back then, nobody, like, you tell someone to do 40 pull-ups back then, and that was like, dude, you are batshit crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like, you have no idea what you're talking about. But then now, so when we were talking about this, it was one, I still want to find the original list, because I think it would be really interesting to look at back then what was just outside attainable. Like the people who could do and I think probably what we'll come up with now, it's the same kind of idea, is these weren't CrossFit workouts that these tasks were. They were on the verge of specialist events. But what's cool was for us, especially, with our trophy case having all of them in there, if you could do all of those, you're a badass CrossFitter. Now, when I was doing those, there was no way I was doing all of them. I mean, I could do some of them, but I couldn't do 30 muscle ups.
Yeah.
At the time, I had no idea how to do that. But I think that doing that was really cool. So the thing was, if you completed it, you turned in your score. It quote unquote got validated by someone seeing it, or Lauren Glassman at the time just didn't see it and didn't give him the shirt, like happened to me 3 times. But then I'm still pissed about that. But they would send you a shirt, and that's the award, is you just got a free shirt saying that you completed that task.
Yes. So
I was like, you know what, this would be really, really cool. Between all the people we know, the OG people that we know, the programmers that we know, the coaches that we know, the athletes that we know, the level of CrossFitter now, what that looks like, we could come up with some really cool tests that would be really fun. That would be challenge. It shouldn't be something that someone would look at and go, "Oh, these are stupid. I'm gonna get all the shirts."
It's going to be a challenge. Like, we want it to be a challenge. We want it to be just out of reach, because we've said this before. Your gym should program ring muscle ups even if no one can, because process of learning those, reaching for that goal, that training and that development you learn and your body goes through, and that adaptation to try to get those, that's where, not to say magic again, but that's where the magic is. The adaptability. And so some of these aren't going to be like exclusively like only games athletes can do challenges, but at the same time, it's going to be a challenge to do. You'll have to train to get some of these things. Like you said, like,
hell yeah, I think if you don't have to train, then we didn't make a very good test.
No, right? And plus, I don't want to send out 4,000 free t-shirts.
Right. So with that, as we were talking about that, we know that, we're in a new day and age now. You can't just say what your score is, because people have a issue with scoring and how they actually completed certain things. So to complete whatever the test is that we come up with, we need to have a vetting process, a qualifying process. I'm voting for a video review process of some sort.
Yes. And in that vein, we have already talked to the video review self-proclaimed CEO of video review, and that is Mr. Andrew Hiller, who I would say nominated him anyways, but he was on board.
I think he got fired up about the whole thing too.
Yeah, he's fired up. And so
now he can't do them because he's on his California hormone, so he can't do any of the tests. But
he'll get a shirt for being the official video review. But it'll be very simple. We will release a new trophy case challenge every month.
Every month. I think we do every month. Yeah.
Right. You don't have to complete that exact one within the month. So the one we're going to release for January, you have all year to do.
This is just so we can showcase it. We're not going to put them all out there.
Yes, the monthly challenge.
So we showcase each of the individual events.
Exactly. Now, if you complete this, it must be videoed, public, on YouTube or Vimeo. You're going to have to follow OG Culture, the OG Culture, and Sherpa Works, because they are going to help us make a exclusive t-shirt that you will never be able to buy for completing this task. We will never sell this, never make a shirt that looks like this, and you will know what that shirt means just by seeing it across the room or across the competition floor. Right? And so that's basically, it's going to be very simple. You're going to get the task, video, tag, and you're in. And if you do it, you just send us your address. We'll highlight you on Instagram, and we'll send you a free t-shirt that no one can buy, but everyone has an opportunity to earn.
Do you think we should have not just Hiller's review, but we should have public review, a thumb up or a thumb down? And the reason I say that, now I'm not saying, I don't know how long it would be, or I don't want it to be like a competition thing necessarily. But I don't want to do, I mean,
I don't want to go in there and like create a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Well, I'm just trying to think of Hiller. Like if let's say all of a sudden he's got 1,000 videos he needs to like look at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to say that he couldn't do it, but that if someone basically, it gets posted, and within a certain amount of time that it gets posted, as long as they have 50%, more than 50% thumbs up, then they're good to go.
It's hard to see on YouTube. I'll say it like this. This is a very organic, very community-driven thing. So we'll see how it goes. How about that? Stefan had this question.
That was like saying you use your common sense, and we know like, how that works.
Like, let's not overcomplicate this, right? We said that from the beginning of the show. Well, I'll say this: no for the shirt, but yes as a means to train for.
Oh well, yeah, totally.
Right? Like,
the goal is the goal.
The goal is the goal. Yes.
Yeah, it's like if you're signing up to run the marathon, you can run 6 miles if you want, but the goal is to run the marathon and finish the marathon.
Right. So yes. So we will create a special shirt designed by Sherpa Works with the OG Culture brand for this exclusively. We'll release one challenge per month. There is no timetable on these challenges. Do them as you can. And then when we find the number, okay, I'm not going to say, I'm going to gently tiptoe around this. I think we can create or have something. If someone does all of them, maybe we'll send them something special.
Oh, if they get all of them, we definitely will do something.
We'll send them a thing that cannot be purchased either.
Oh, yes. Yes, 100%. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, right?
Shit, if you get all of them, you're going to be a badass. Like you're probably going to be one of the game's competitors.
Yeah. If you can do all of these, we'll be watching you at the 2024 CrossFit Games, wherever they need you.
Right.
Okay, so you and I have been talking. We know one of these for sure, which will actually release now for everybody. And this is actually going to be our December highlight challenge. Why would you give us something a year in advance, you would say? Well, because when this challenge was first created, which we have talked about on this show, if you have been following the journal, it is going to take a year, unless you are just a freak, to accomplish this task. If you've been watching Annie Sakamoto's Instagram page, she has been working on this for quite some time. And that is the very first overhead presses challenge we ever saw and read about in the journal. And that will be a press to a handstand from the floor straight into a 100-foot unbroken handstand walk.
Yep.
That it will be the December challenge. Why are we telling you to December now? Because you have a year to work on it. Imagine the benefits you are going to get from flexibility, strength, stamina, balance, and coordination if you spend a year trying to get this. So press to handstand from the floor into a 100-foot unbroken handstand walk. Yes, Stefan, everybody's screwed right now.
They aren't supposed to be, you guys, they aren't supposed to be easy. These are supposed to be outside of just attainable if you work at it, but outside of that, like the specialist people should be able to do that, you know? Exactly.
I can't do this either.
They're goals for people to hit, goals out there for everybody.
Goals.
And you get something special if you get it for free. You don't even have to pay to do it. You just have to train yourself to get better all on your own.
Yes. So we're telling you December's now, 12 months. You have 12 months to work your way to there. You've got till we're dead and this is no longer a thing to do it.
Right.
You tag us 5 years from now, we're sending you a t-shirt.
Yes, exactly.
These things will never die. And we'll also post these challenges on our community board on the OG Culture website.
There you go.
They'll be on there. Now with that, this year, Bill and I we're going to refocus a lot of the stuff we do for our Patreon supporters. So if you guys follow us on Patreon, if you are a programmatron of the show, you guys go to patreon.com and follow us and support us more than you already do for just $6 a month. Every month, Bill and I are going to do an exclusive podcast to teach you how to do some of these things each month. So every month when we release a new one, we'll also release a podcast on how to do this. Why? Because you're paying for it. You deserve it. We want to give you a little bit more. And we're also going to bring back our workout of the week. So Bill and I will alternate weeks. We'll program a special workout of the week every Wednesday. It'll also come with a video with scales, stimulus, all that other stuff. We'll do that once a week. Shoot, I can start tomorrow if we need to. So that will be things. So if you guys don't follow us on Patreon, go ahead and go over there and support us there. You're going to get a workout of the week every week of the year with a video description and scales and modifications as needed. And then every month, we're going to do an exclusive podcast on our monthly trophy case challenge movement. Now, that brings us to January. Now, we went back and forth a little bit here. This is some of that organic stuff. And I wanted it to be like, obviously, if we programmed December's and January, that would be a bad idea. Hey, good luck, everybody. Or is it, right? It's like you should start practicing now. But we settled on, at first I brought up an old school workout called the Secret Service Snatch Test. If anybody remembers that. But it's just basically 10 minutes of kettlebell snatches with a single arm at 53 and 35. And the goal for that was always what number?
200.
200. Now we're playing with that idea and you wanted to take the clock off.
Yep.
Which I'm fine. And I wanted to add the challenge of once that kettlebell comes off the ground, it cannot touch the ground.
100%. Yeah, it's got to be unbroken.
And so the January challenge is 200 kettlebell snatches with one arm. Switch as often as you like. But as soon as the kettlebell comes off the ground, it cannot come back to the ground until you reach 200.
Does it have to stay in motion? I'm going to vote for yes.
Yeah. Well, other than
like you can't bring it down to your shoulder to rest, and then kind of switch hands, whatever. Like if it comes down, even if you're going to switch hands, it's up and you switch and it comes back down and then you go up like that. Like once you start, it's got to keep going.
Yeah. Other than switching hands, right? Which you have to do from the hang or the shoulder and overhead. But like you can't actively rest.
Yes. Okay. Okay, cool.
Right. So it's like, yeah, you can't sit there on your shoulder, sit here. Like I've done this before. This was like 2009.
Can you swing it between your legs like 3 times while you're resting before you switch hands?
It ain't making it easier if you're swinging it and you're not getting a rep.
Right? I'm just asking.
I would say as simple as like the bell must stay in motion other than switching hands for the kettlebell.
Got it.
Keep it simple, folks. Keep it simple. 200 kettlebell snatches with a 53 and 35 pound kettlebell. Unbroken, other than switching hands to do that. Which is totally doable. You will take training, but here's the thing. It have to be done in January to get the shirt. But we'll highlight you in January should you complete it. Right? And we'll highlight you every time you do it.
Oh, if you're trying it, put us out there, tag us so we can put you up. That doesn't mean you get the shirt unless you get the 200 reps. But if you do it,
you're training
show it. Put it up.
Tag us in there. Yes.
I mean, for those of you guys that always want like, content and stuff anyway, just put it up. Just try Bruce. There you go. Right. I'm doing it tonight. Boom.
All right. January challenge trophy case number 1. 200 kettlebell snatch at a 50 and 35, not a 353. I got so excited.
That was the pound. I saw the pound sign.
Yeah, that's where the pound is. It is.
You're right. You're right.
And once the bell's up, stays up. The only time you can stop swinging is to change hands for the kettlebell.
Yes.
Suggestions. Well, I guess we have to say that for the Cramodrons. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was me.
Man, that's gonna be so fun to do.
I'll have to do that.
And this is what I like. What I like about that one is
question for you. Sorry.
Oh.
Grips or no grips?
No grips.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What about thumb tape?
Nope.
Ooh. I mean, we didn't have it back in the day.
How would you use thumb tape on that anyway?
I don't know. I just like having thumb tape.
Oh.
On my thumbs. Now, do we need to make that official?
Yeah. Bare.
No
naked.
All right. I mean, I support it.
There was no hell yes, chalk. Yeah, absolutely chalk.
Yeah, chalk. Yeah, chalk only. Now, I'm not putting. Well, it's already up there, Bruce. Fuck.
Yeah.
We're having a live chat. Yeah, only sand. Now. No, I see. I was about to give you clues. Sorry, guys. That's for
don't give any clues.
Sorry. We'll do a round table of how to be the most successful if you guys do follow us on Patreon. And we're not trying to keep you things from you guys. We want you to join in the challenge, but at the same time, we want to do things for those that support us.
Yeah.
Over there. So this is just the first episode of many. We are currently fleshing out the 10 other challenges that we will release between February and November. But the ones you have now is January's challenge of 200 unbroken kettlebell snatches at 50 and 35. And then December's challenge is a press to handstand into a 100-foot unbroken handstand walk. Why that one? Because it was one of the first challenges we've ever had. It was in the CrossFit Journal all the way back to 2001. It was an actual challenge put out there by Greg Glassman. And those of you that are terrible at handstand walks or flexibility, like it will only, I mean, think of the athlete you're going to be if you just try to get this. Not if you get it, if you just try. The flexibility, the positioning, like the body control. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited about this.
Hey,
but we're just scratching the surface.
Throw Ken's up there.
Ken.
So Kenneth, you're talking snatches. That basically, when you're talking a single hand kettlebell swing, that is a snatch. So from between the legs up overhead. So I'm not sure if you thought it was 2 hands or something like that or not.
Efforting. we will give you guys a little demo of what this is. Not me personally. But if you guys ever want to figure out movements, just type in CrossFit and a movement, and they have a whole library of things for you guys.
Just
This
like
is a
that.
kettlebell.
Only 198 more to go.
If you guys haven't seen these like movement breakdown videos on CrossFit's YouTube page, they are phenomenal. Like they give you all the movements, these little tips and tricks, but this is it. Now, why lead off with a kettlebell snatch? I don't know, because kettlebells were in the freaking equipment list for the Open. What a better time to start practicing maybe a movement that we will probably see if I was putting money on a new movement this year.
I really hope they're using it for something like this rather than just farmer's carry. I really do.
I do too.
It's time.
It's
time. And what's great is actually, the big deal with kettlebell swings was we weren't sure where the bell was supposed to be as opposed to everything else. That's what the judging issue was. But if you watch what James was doing in the video there, it didn't matter on the single arm snatch. It just has to get up overhead. All you have to do is boom right there.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, dude, that's going to, it could come out. I like it.
Stefan, when I did this, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I don't recommend going out there and swinging 200 today.
Oh, fuck it, I'm going to go do that right now.
Are you really?
I'm going to go try.
I bet you could do it.
I think I'll be
really curious if you could do it. But that's the plan, team. That's what we want to do. We want to bring a new challenge, a new fun thing to the community. Yes, sweatbands.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, guys. The only thing you can't wear is grips. That's all we're saying. No grips. No grips. But we want to bring out a new challenge. We're bringing out something that's old school. This came from Bill, and we're going to work with Sherpa Works, the OG Culture brand. We're going to make sure that we just throw something out there for the community. Here you go. It's out there in the ether. And as you do this, put it on YouTube, video it, follow, tag OG Culture and Sherpa Works and us.
Right.
Today we're going to break down how to perform a perfect kettlebell swing. Step 1, learn how to perform the hip.
Not a perfect kettlebell swing.
Step 1, pull your shorts up as high as you can.
Bye.
Stefan, if you only have a 55-pounder, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're
not making it easier.
Right.
That's a great question. I respect that. But that's getting started. So January, 200 unbroken kettlebell snatches, 53 and 35. No grips allowed. Other than that, post video, follow and tag us when you guys get it done. The OG Culture, Sherpa Works, and us. And then let the party begin. If you get it done and it's approved by us and Hiller, we will send you an exclusive, unbuyable. I don't want to say unbuyable. Actually, that'd be kind of funny if we did that.
It's an unbuyable.
It's an unbuyable t-shirt.
It's actually really good.
A exclusive shirt for the challenge, for the trophy case challenge, that no one will ever be able to buy, ever. But you got to earn that shit. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy hunting.